So today I'm going to be doing another unboxing on the channel, mainly because I've got something to unbox. The whole purpose of it was I wasn't really happy with the previous quality of the videos I was getting from my little action camera. You may have seen a couple with the, well, just out and about, but they weren't really picking up, and I'd done a lot with my phone, so I decided to splurge out a little bit. So today I'm going to be unboxing my new little toy, which is the GoPro 12. Now, it may not be the most up-to-date model, not the newest, but for what I was looking at, the description just seemed too good not to go with it. And the safety packaging first of all, let's get that out of the way. So I should say this video is not sponsored or endorsed in any way by GoPro. Wouldn't mind if they felt like it, but especially as any free accessories involved, but we'll see whether or not we need that later, because I will come back to that. But especially interested in what sort of picture quality it gets because of the water that I'm always on, and this one actually boasts a couple of key features that help with that. So just reviewing the overall packaging, you've got a nice clear picture of the camera itself on the front, and unlike most GoPros, this one seems to have a front-facing screen as well, which I must admit could come in handy if you take a lot of self-facing videos. I tend not to face radio, but what we do notice straight away is that it seems to have quite a few features. So 27 megapixel photo, more than I'm looking for, but I'm more interested in the video. And it does have a good range of video options, which I'll come back to. The downside of my phone, of course, is it's not waterproof. This one has a overall depth of 33 feet, which is about 10 meters. If I'm that far underwater, then the camera's probably the last thing I'll be worrying about. However, it is good to have that, whereas my mobile just doesn't have it. It does come with voice control for anyone interested, and it also comes with a slow-mo up to 8 times, although that will affect the picture quality. It also has a ×4 slow-mo, which has a higher resolution, 1080p live streaming, and a time warp feature 3.0. That could be interesting to play around with. But ultimately it's HDR, both photo and video. It does come with mods option, but I haven't really looked into that just yet. But as I say, my main interest is what sort of video quality I get, and the key thing is what sort of accessory attachments it sets up, because I do have a bunch of stuff that I'm keen to use, such as like a chest mount and things. However, up until now I've not had that option. So like all cameras, this will record to a SD card, but that is not included in the purchase. So let's get into it. Well, it's certainly well protected. There's no way that's going to wobble about in transit. Obviously the packaging around that was pretty good, but that was from the retailer. So your camera must be updated before you can use it. Well, there you go. Important stuff right away. So I'm going to need an app on the phone, but that's no issue. Obviously using internet as per usual, following on-screen instructions. Well, I think anyone can manage that. So there is a subscription offer to get the most out of the GoPro. Never tried that before. Never had a GoPro to try, but again I might just look into that to see what offers or options they've got. Your standard quick start instructions with no wording, but hey, following pictures is easy enough. It does mention that it comes with a camera mount, which looks like this has an adhesive, so it'll go onto a helmet or whatever you're choosing to wear. That's here. It does actually have a bit of a curved edge, which could come in handy, because not all edges you're going to mount to a flat. But it looks like it just comes with a basic, but very effective underclip. And I'm curious to see what sort of thread lines up with this, because I do have some accessories I'm keen to try. Nice. So this obviously goes to multiple attachments. It has a clip-in factor, but it also looks like this one is designed to slide for, very similar to my last one. So it's just a matter of friction fit, and then when you want to release, squeeze it, it almost pops out by itself, which is amazing. And of course it's labelled up as GoPro. So one of the club now. But I think if I can, I'll be using that main clip with some other things. So standard USB cable, seems to be a more recent one actually, USB-C, so that's good. Nicely protected little camera. So of course I'm going to have to run through some setups and probably charge and then some installing this app. However, as you can see on the front, you've got this nice little screen here if you want to take front-facing video. So of course you can see yourself in the shot on the frame, which is good. And there it is, naturally your lens. Now the big thing I wanted about this lens, I don't know if it's the same on all GoPro, but this one was advertised as a hydrophobic lens. And for anyone that has seen the videos before, being out on the water all the time is a good thing to have. So I'm very much looking forward to putting that to the test. There's about a sticker in every possible place, but I guess that's a tear off. And there we go. I'll just show you the back screen there. So in most of my videos, that's what I'll be looking at. What's in the shot, always trying to get nice nature or if possible wildlife. But it looks like it's a very simple operation, single button up the top there, which will no doubt be turn on, and then power's on the side here, and you've got your mode option as well. So the top button's going to be just to start and stop the video as required. And it will have an SD slot. One interesting thing to note is that this actually has some mounts already installed on the very base of the camera, which will be, for anyone that's not had a camera or a GoPro before, a bit like myself, but I've had similar cameras. So the little mounts have a perfectly fitting slot. What you've got to do then is just fold these out of the bottom, it's ready to go. But it also has a screw feature for varying different accessories. I've got a tripod, again keen to try, and that in various ways sit together at the top. And if I just pull out the clip, I haven't pulled the clip out yet. It's just a simple matter of threading them through together and then tighten until it's securely in place. So if all you wanted to do was just take a camera shot indoors like I'm doing now, I've actually got my mobile pinned up, but this one would give you ample option just by releasing the turn key. You can then change the angle and tighten it up again. Now of course, it's going to come with a battery. And this looks like it's very nice, very new. So it's going to have that little protective tab in there, which will also help you get it out when you need to change it for charging. So if we can follow instructions on the mount, let's see about opening this camera. So I'll take it off of the mount just one more time because we don't need that just yet. It suggests laying it with the screen up, and you can locate here just a slight little button. This could be fun to try and work out. So that's just a push down motion, and then by the looks of it, if you push it far enough, it just releases the whole section. So if you're not sure what to do, just take it slow, but it's simply just push down on, put it in the shot there, tiny little lip edge. So you just push this end down, and then it will open up. I just want to see whether this has any actual charge before starting, because some do, some don't. But inside that very same compartment, you'll see the charging socket is just here. And although it's kind of dark, get some better light on that for you. There's a tiny little slot just above for the SD card. There you go, you can see that now. And let's say the little charging port's just there. Of course, don't pull off the tab on that battery, because that's how you get it in and out. So is it pre-charged? That's the big question. There we go. So it looks like it is. It's going to load into a quick intro screen. Just try not to bang the camera. There you go. So it's going to be a simple setup. At this moment it's English, which is how I know what I'm doing. So I'm just going to press the power or shoot button on the top. And if that doesn't work, try the side button. It doesn't seem to want to do it for that selection. It could be because I haven't put an SD card in there. However, I'd be surprised. So it just provides a small bit of information about best cold weather performance and charging it to 100% before each use. Everything else is just another version in a different language. Alright. Okay, if in doubt, figure it out. So it turns out this is actually a touchscreen camera. Again, I've never used this before, didn't have a GoPro until now, so it's quite new to me that this would actually have a touchscreen, but that's going to be really helpful, I'm sure, in future. By using the GoPro, I agree to its terms and conditions. And that's just agreed. Do I want to turn on the voice camera control? Yeah, let's turn that on. Voice language set to English. Well, it really ought to be. So it only comes with 20% battery, which is going to be enough just to get it started. And it's clever enough to tell me there's no SD card, but I do have one available. I just got to dig it out. Probably with the other action cam. But that's fine. Yeah, so as expected, I'm not going to be able to do a huge amount because I do need to do an update and I do need to put an SD card in. But I'm already quite impressed that it's touchscreen. Well, that's going to be quite a bit of fun, I'm sure. So it does have a few different modes, but I guess, yeah, until it's been updated, till it's had the SD card, it's not going to let me do that. And I don't really mind that at the moment. I just wanted to check whether or not it had some battery. Nice little audio tone there, so even if you have got a screen, you will know that it's on and off just through the audio alert. So, as I said before, I do have a few little bits which I have used, but there's a couple of little things I'm curious to know about, and that's its kind of compatibility. Because understandably, each to their own. Here's a head strap, for example. One that I've used, and as long as the holes line up, which I think it will, as long as the holes and the threads can line up. There we go. So, although it's upside down because I've just done it super quick, this is just a normal head strap attachment. Actually came from my Picasso camera that I bought, and this was given as a gift, and quite a good gift because of the things I like to do. However, camera quality wasn't there. So I'm really hoping that this GoPro 12 will now deliver the type of video content and quality that I want to put on the channel. And it's really, really encouraging that I've actually got a bunch of accessories that I can now utilize in full, purely because one hole is the same as another. So there's no force in it, no risk of damage. Swap that around. If it does fit onto that, which it clearly does, let's have a look, check. Go through a couple while we're here. So one of the accessories I got is a suction cup. If you remember, I said there was a little screw fix right here, a little threaded hole in the middle there. I'm just wondering. No forcing, no stress or trouble. Look at that, it's perfectly compatible with that existing accessory of mine. That, I'm going to say, is job's a good one. Which means the selfie pole I've got, and a dozen other things, including a few things I was tempted to mount to the actual kayak, going to come in very, very handy. Now, although I do have a waterproof camera, I'm really, really not a waterproof case. I really don't think it's going to fit into there. And I don't want to risk it because this one, as I say, does come waterproof itself to a good 10 meters depth. So excellent, they're nigh identical. So the one that came with and the one that I've already had, as I say, they're perfectly compatible without any trouble whatsoever. So if you've already got something, a bunch of accessories yourself, but you're thinking of upgrading, don't rush out and buy all the stuff straight away just because of that next brand. In this case, let's say it's perfectly compatible with the kit I've already got, and I do like that. Now the only thing I will note, just looking at the pack that it came with, completely empty now, it doesn't seem to have a tool. You can get tools available. With my previous camera and the accessories kit, I was able to get like a little spanner type tool, just so that you can really make sure you've got a firm grip on those locks. There is a screwdriver head in there, Phillips, but that's not always something you're going to have handy. And for any of you guys that like to go out in the extreme cold and take your content, you're probably going to find it can be a little tricky. I've found that in the past, just to try and tighten that completely. So as I say, this video is not endorsed or sponsored by GoPro. However, it is their camera, so I think there's a few bits of perks and stats you'd probably be interested in. The GoPro 12. It's got the high dynamic range, 5.3K and 4K video. It's got the hyper smooth 6.0 video stabilization, which was really key for what I'm interested in, because a lot of mobility with my videos. So hopefully that'll give, again, good quality. It's got 177 degrees field of view with a max lens mod, which is 2.0. It's got a few features that apparently are going to help with the power management system for improved not only thermal performance, but they reckon twice the runtime. It also supports Bluetooth audio for your Apple AirPods if you've got them. Now, I mentioned earlier that it does come with 8x slow-mo, but the specifics behind that is you can actually get 4x slow-mo, 120 frames per second at high K resolution of 4K. You can also ramp it up to slow-mo times 8, but at that point it's 240 frames per second, so it does affect the quality. You get 2.7K on the video there. As I say, my big interest, not it's waterproof, but this hydrophobic lens, so I'll be testing that out in due course. And of course it's come with the mounts, as you've seen, and then no doubt going to have plenty available, whether it's angled like this, let me just pick up that slight curve, that then will fix onto a helmet, or potentially a bike, I guess, but I'm sure there are more supportive, secure mounts for that. As I said earlier, it's 27 megapixel, and that's, if you've taken a still from the video, it's 24.7 megapixel, which, let's face it, is a really good quality image. So, ultimately, I think what I've got, it wasn't cheap, but for the amount I paid and what it potentially can deliver, it's going to be a good sound investment. More so over because I now know I don't have to go and shell out on a bunch of accessories. So I'm actually going to shout out GoPro as a real solid for that. There's nothing worse than a brand that's so tightly pigeonholed, every little facet has to go through them. So again, real big shout out to GoPro for just making it that little bit more accessible and compatible with other things, because you know, life's all about getting on. So if you've enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like, and watch the channel, because I'll soon be taking as many videos as possible and really putting the camera for its paces. Thanks for watching.